Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another edition of 28 Days, highlighting Black entrepreneurs. My name is Ryan Ray, founder of Triangle Entrepreneurial Leadership, and honored to be at the helm of this thing we call the Year of the Black Entrepreneur. And I could not do this alone without the support of my girl in the background, Miss Angela Milton, our producer on the ones and twos. She's been crushing it now for 8 solid days. And I just want to say kudos. Thank you for all of your support in the background. Listen, we have a treat for you tonight. Have been excited all day to bring this young lady up to kick off our second week of the 28 Days highlighting Black entrepreneurs. She has a story that she is going to tell, and she is capable and woman enough to do it for herself. And so without further ado, I want to bring up my friend, partner, mentor, all of the above, Miss Titilayo Ellis, the Joy Builder Coach. Welcome to the Year of the Black Entrepreneur 28 Days.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to be amongst everyone who has come on thus far. They rocked it out. Serious movers and shakers. So just wow. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. The stage has been set. It feels like the bar just keeps getting a little bit taller. You know, what's that game you play where you bend down and walk under the bar? Right. Normally it gets lower. Now it's been getting higher. And man, we're just 8 days in, TT.
That's it. And we still have, 20 more to go?
20 more to go. Yeah.
By the time we get to 28 is going to be outstanding. Just
absolutely, awesome. Absolutely. Well, listen, tonight is all about you. And you've been on a journey, and a journey that you talked about potentially having delayed maybe a little bit beyond tonight. Yes. But you made the decision, you jumped out, and here we go. So we are introducing to the world right here, the Year of the Black Entrepreneur, 28 Days, the Joy Builder. So before we get into the Joy Builder Coach, just tell us, who is Miss T.T. Ellis?
Well, you know, so many people know me as a marketing strategist. They've known me for a marketing strategist for 16 years? And then I became a podcast host of The Art of Balancing It All. And, you know, the podcast was really it was an opening to where my heart really is and where Pam's heart is. We believe in providing people with the tools and techniques that are going to make their lives better and help them just live a fuller life. So that really was the opening of it. Yeah. And so like so many, I have had so many obstacles. That's the art of balancing it all. And, you know, for so long, and at least for the last year, what Pam and I did is if there were any obstacles that we were facing, we had some content about it. Or if it was something we knew people were facing, we had some content about it. But God just was not satisfied. And so I have taken all of these things, these obstacles that I've gone through in life, some that, to be honest, have left me in the fetal position. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I always try to make sure is that I learn the lessons from the storms, that I learn the blessings. And as my ultimate muse, Dr. Maya Angelou, used to say, you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
That is what I continue to do no matter what the obstacle is. And so along the way, within about 15 years, I took on some serious personal development. And within that 15 years, I've identified some tools and techniques that I'm not the only one that says that these things work. They're proven methods. Yeah. And really has been the key to what I call deep introspection, serious self-love, all of which create this sustainable joy that I call unbreakable joy. And so after that 15 years, I am ready to get out. I am ready to teach these methods to people. And when I was talking to my mom about this, because I really dealt with imposter syndrome, we talked about this. God dealt with imposter syndrome. Who am I? Who am I to talk about this? I'm a marketer. I know you have to be authentic. I know you have to show up as you. I know you have to believe what you're talking about. And it was a couple things that happened. The first is when I talked to my mom about it. My mom, and everyone has this in the family, they have that person who will support you in entrepreneurship, but be happy if you just stay in a regular career with some benefits. You know what I'm talking about? So my mom is that person. And so whenever I've talked to her about entrepreneurship, she's like, okay, but you're going to keep that job. When I started talking to her about teaching people the power of self-examination and self-love, she was like, it took me until I was 70 years old to learn that.
Wow.
You need to start that today. My mom, who is like timid when it comes to anything, and when she said that, it shook me to my core. Wow. And in November, something I shared with you, I shared with close friends, I had an incident that should have taken me down. I had my daughter in the hospital. I had my father go into the hospital for emergency 2 days later, 5 days in the hospital, no sleep. And I had to pull on these techniques that I'd already written down, these techniques that I said I want to share with others. I had to put it through the pressure cooker. Had to see if I could come out of it. And when I came out of it with my mind and still my joy, I said, hold up now. So that was the second thing, right? But still, and I know some folks on here can understand, but still I had doubt. And it wasn't until January when I received some news that should have taken me down.
Yeah.
It didn't. And I remember when it came to me, I sat there and my friend told me the news, and he even was like, you okay? And I was okay. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't say why not me. I didn't say any of those questions. I didn't get angry, any of those things. I picked up the phone. I picked up my laptop, and I actually emailed my therapist, and I said, thank you. This just happened and I'm okay. And she congratulated me, but said, baby, you have put in the work. And she said, you do so much more than just this. You've put in the work. And at that moment, I went and opened up a document and I wrote 2 chapters. Wow. 2 chapters immediately. And that is when I said, it's time. It is time. I've been having people saying, you need to teach people these things. I've taught some of my friends and I'm so proud of their growth. So I'm ready. I am so ready. I'm just ready.
I love it. So, wow. You've taken us from bringing some years of experience in marketing. And I'm sure having worked with tons of people, realizing that somehow or another we can easily get our life out of balance. I'm sure you've had the pleasure of talking to so many different individuals through your podcast. I had the being one of those. I'm sure you heard a lot of things that you were like, oh man, that's awesome. And I'm sure there were some times along the way you was like, ooh, some needs some help right there, right? But it's easy to be on the outside and see others and their challenges and their things that they may be overlooking and not being authentic. What was that journey like to internalize and embrace? One of the scriptures that has been very resonant to me as I've been on this journey was to embrace our trials and our tribulations and our chances, and that it may be part of the journey, right? Not an impediment, but a part of the pathway.
That's right.
What was it like for you? How did you internalize embracing that change?
Oh, first, let me say it is not for the weak at heart. Got to let go of victimhood. A 360-degree view. I'm not saying you do not count what has happened to you, whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whether it's life. You take that in because there's a lesson, but you got to say, why did I think that way? Why did I react that way? Why did I accept that?
Mm.
And so you got to do some digging.
Yeah.
That is going to be painful. I'm not even going to lie. It's going to be painful, but at the other end
Yeah.
is inner peace.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't. You can stay in victimhood. It'll help you feel good temporarily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Temporarily. But in order to really dig into that introspection. So when I started, I took a guide with me. And I talk about that in the ebook, how everyone deserves a life guide. And I had a life guide. And guess who that life guide was? Therapist. See, we always try to talk about therapists in this way of, they're going to help you with your mental state. No, they're going to help guide you through your journey. Yeah. If you were traveling, you take a tour guide. You're traveling. This is a journey. Anything that happens to you today is not your ending.
Love it.
Journey.
Love it.
You need some folks. You need life coaches. You know it. You know you need mentors. You talk all the time. You need those folks who are going to guide you through this process. Again, because it's not easy.
Right.
When you get in it, you can say, oh no, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you need those guys. And I talk about some techniques that you can do on your own. And I talk about techniques that you can use that actually reach out to others. And that's why I'm so excited. And the techniques that I'm giving in my ebook is just 5 of about 10 that I use. So yes, you gotta go in and have
Well, look, we're gonna come back around to the ebook and make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with you. But you manifested it. You said I was gonna take you there, so I'm about to take you there. So there's a level of awareness, right, that someone has to have, because what we're content with, TT, we will not change.
That's right.
If everything over here is in your head, you're telling yourself this story, oh, I'm good, everything's okay, I can handle it, right? We're telling ourselves all these stories, but then on the other side, we're miserable, we're hurting, we're bitter, right? All of these things. And I love what you said earlier, is that, it may not be easy, but anything worthwhile won't be easy.
That's
but
right.
It will be worth it. So talk to someone who's struggling over there. They know they're in denial. They have not walked into awareness. Tell them, number one, that they're worthy to go through the process. But what makes it worth it on the other side? What makes it worth going through that journey?
What makes it worth going through that journey is a lot of us won't admit it, but we haven't forgiven ourselves. And I always say, forgiving yourself is way harder. If you think forgiving somebody else is tough, forgiving yourself is way harder. So when you go into that introspection piece, you also walk in that path to forgiving yourself, to saying it was okay that it happened. It was okay that I did these things. And that's where you deserve that, right? Because for so many people, you don't know that you're arguing with somebody because you're mad at yourself. You understand?
Yes.
You know that half of the chaos in your life is because you are just upset with so many things. And it's not just them, it's you too. Yeah. As a parent, we know that sometimes we do things and we feel this guilt. As a friend, sometimes you do things, you feel this guilt. As a lover, when you're in a relationship, you're upset with yourself. How did I put myself in this place? How did I get here? How could I be such a fool?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you do that introspection, you understand why. It goes deep. It could be something from your childhood. It could be something, there could be a trigger. But then once you understand it,
yeah, you breathe again.
You breathe again. You breathe again. You recognize it the next time. You don't tense up the next time. You say, okay, I'm going to calm down. This is a trigger for me.
Yep.
That's why you want to get there, because you deserve a fuller life. Life is going to happen. It's going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
You should not have that effect where it brings you down and you can't get back up.
Yeah.
And that's what that self-introspection does. every last person deserves it. You can't tell me there's one person, my enemy or my friend, that does not deserve that level of introspection and self-examination.
So good, so good. And you know, life absolutely is a process. Life absolutely is a journey, but it also is your perspective of it, right? And I've also said that, but when you can embrace the journey, the struggles, that's part of the journey, right? This is part of the pathway. You know, and feel free to, you know, push back, slap and punch me in the face. But sometimes I just don't believe life has to be as difficult as we make it.
Yeah.
Right. And because often, like mentor used to tell me all the time, he said, Ryan, if you find yourself in turmoil all the time, he used to say, everywhere you go, there you are. Right. You're the common denominator. Right. And in every one of those turmoils, hiccups, challenges, you're the common denominator, dude. At some point, you got to be the one that's not the thermometer, but the thermostat, right? You're controlling the temperature of things in your life.
You are.
So anyway, I love what you're talking about. I don't know if you wanted to respond to that or not.
No, you are absolutely right. And, you know, if you do find yourself in a situation, and I have to admit, like, as I've gotten older, when you meet someone and they start talking about what everybody did to them, I start looking at them like, okay, now.
At some point, the bell's got to go off, right?
Yes. I mean, and that goes for relationships. If I'm looking, that goes for friends. They constantly have these rifts with their friend. That is a red flag. Huge red flag, because most of the time they are the common denominator. If it happens over and over again, I totally agree.
At some point, you know, and so you talk about it from a life perspective, and we got to move. Well, you talk about it from a life perspective and an entrepreneurial perspective, like you have to take responsibility for the results of your life, right? And so you got to start pointing outward. Right? Because anytime you blame somebody else, you gave away the power to fix it.
Yes.
Right? So now I'm saying, oh, well, you got to fix the problem that's wrong in my life. No, you got to fix my attitude. No, that's not how it works. We have to take that responsibility. So anyway, that said, I can't wait to read the ebook. So tell us about this ebook. Now, don't give it away. But talk about 10 tools. 10 tools.
It's going to be 5. It's going to be 5 of about 10 that I use constantly. Video is not working. Well, you could go to Titilayo Ellis.com. It looks like it's not showing because it's a website. Okay. You can go to Titilayo Ellis.com. It's a new ebook. It's called How to Build Unbreakable Joy. About whether you've had heartache, whether you've had dishonesty, betrayal, disappointment, or just if you're looking for your inner peace. I give 5 practices that I know. I picked the 5 that I knew was going to provide an instant impact, because I believe people need to see some progress. It's going to give instant impact. It's going to allow you to honor yourself, which is it's something that we all should do. It's allow you to and help you navigate true healing, because people always say I'm healing, but it helps you to navigate that true healing. And really it takes you to being able to hone self-love and perfection. And I put this together, and I was very strategic. I'm a marketing strategist. I put this together in a way that it's going to tell you about it. It's going to give you some examples. It's going to give you some resources. I am sharing pieces of me that I have never shared. It's going to give you takeaways. You're going to do some activities so that you can make some progress. And right now, if you go to titilayoellis.com, if you sign up and you're the first 25 to sign up, the ebook is going to be completely free for those first 25. And you'll be also signed up for the content that I'm going to continue to roll out. So it's the first of many. There'll be workshops. There are going to be lives. We're going to talk about life. We're going to get all up in the sauce. It's going to ride right alongside the art of balancing it all. And so I'm so excited about it. Again, it's things that I have honed in on for 15 years. And to make sure that you know, exactly how I got there. I'm telling you how I got there. And a lot of times it was through stumbles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But through that, many lessons. And so I'm ready to share that with folks.
Well, we're ready to hear it. Listen, I got how to build unbreakable joy. So just a couple of quick shout outs. Your partner says she is so proud of you, Pam Thompson.
Thank you.
Mr. Milton said, thank God for moms, right? How about that?
Yes.
Mia said she is so excited for this chapter for you.
Thank
As
you.
we all are. Inspiring sis, says Lori, so powerful. Anissa said, your joy exudes through the screen.
Thank you.
I agree with that. Mia said, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Yes.
Through Lori. And listen, we are just delighted. We're honored that you would release and make such an announcement on this platform.
To tell you the truth, I told Angela, I was like, can you move me later in the month? And Angela, she puts the no.
Game on. Game on.
So I was like, okay.
Well, listen, it didn't happen to you. It happened for you.
Exactly.
So listen, TEL community, YBE community, if you're out there, whether it's heartache, dishonesty, betrayal, abandonment, disappointment, or that you're merely trying to find your way back to inner peace, this ebook, How to Build Unbreakable Joy, shares 5 practices you can master. Master it. I ain't even got time to get into that, TT. We can be the master of our lives.
We can.
Honor yourself. Navigate true healing and hone the power of self-love and introspection. TT, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure to have you here with the Year of the Black Entrepreneur, 28 days highlighting Black entrepreneurs. Are there any closing words, comments, encouragement, anything you'd like to share with our audience before we wrap up tonight?
The one thing I always like to share is just remember, you got this. You got this. No matter what, you can get the practices, you can get the techniques. Today does not predict your tomorrow. You got it.
I love it. I love it. Listen, thank you so much. We just want to honor our time tonight, or else we would keep going. You know the rules. So thank you again for being here. Listen, if you haven't, looks like the copies are already flying off the shelf. So make sure you get your copies. They're still available for free. But even when they run out, I want you to make this investment, not into teaching. Make this investment into yourself.
Right.
So you can grow and develop and hone that power to really live. Because guys, it's to put your own mask on first, right? You want to be of service to other people, serve yourself, right? Put yourself in alignment, check yourself, right? And then you can more effectively go out and serve others. TT, again, thank you so much for all that you've done. Triangle for the Year of the Black Entrepreneur. We're grateful to be in partnership with you. And however we continue to serve and support you, you know that we're here.
I appreciate it.
All right, one more time. Go out to titilayoellis.com. Subscribe today. We will see you tomorrow night for another edition of 28 Days Highlighting Black Entrepreneurs. Good night.
Good night.